Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers, and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button right now.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? The Blue Jays situation just exploded, and I need to talk about this massive report that dropped today. We're talking about pitching moves, roster shakeups, and some decisions that could completely change how this team looks heading into the season. And I'm telling you right now, you're going to want to hear all of this, because it gets wild. So let's jump right into it. The Jays are actively hunting for pitching help, and according to Mitch Bannon, one of the most connected insiders in the game, they're still deep in the starting pitcher market. With Santander expected to miss 5 to 6 months and Shane Bieber dealing with his own ramp-up delays, Toronto needs to fill some serious gaps. Bannon mentioned names like Zach Allen, Zach Littell, and Lucas Giolito as potential targets. But here's where it gets really interesting. He specifically called out Max Scherzer as someone who could be a welcome reunion and an ideal fit for this roster. Now, I know what you're thinking. Scherzer is 42 years old. Why would the Jays want to bring back a guy who's clearly in the twilight of his career? But hear me out, because this actually makes a ton of sense. This team doesn't need someone who's going to make 35 starts. They need veteran leadership, someone who can mentor the young arms, be a pitching coach on the field, and still give you quality innings when called upon. Scherzer started Game 7 of the World Series last year. That experience alone is invaluable. He's expressed interest in running it back with Toronto, and the familiarity factor cannot be overlooked. Chris Bassitt signed with the Baltimore Orioles late last night, 1 year at $18.5 million. That door is closed, but Scherzer is still out there, and the market for him is developing slowly. Thomas Hall made a great point when he said the Jays probably won't add rotation depth before opening day, but if Scherzer is still available in April or May, he should be their guy. And honestly, I completely agree. You bring him in, let him work with guys like Bowden Francis, Ricky Tiedemann, and especially Trey Savage, who's making his first real run as a full-time starter. The mentorship and intangibles Scherzer brings could be massive for this pitching staff. Speaking of Bassitt going to Baltimore, that stings a little. He was a leader in that clubhouse, a fantastic teammate by all accounts, and now he's going to an AL rival. The Orioles rotation now includes Shane Baz, Zach Eflin, Kyle Bradish, Trevor Rogers, Dean Kramer, and Bassitt. It's not terrifying, but it's solid, and losing a guy like Bassitt to them is tough to swallow. But that's the business. You move on, and the Jays need to find their next guy. Now let's talk about some roster moves, because the Jays have been active in other ways. They signed Juan Yepez to a minor league deal, and he'll likely be in big league camp as a non-roster invitee. This might not sound like a big deal, but Yepez had 103 WRC plus and almost 600 plate appearances with the Cardinals and Nationals in 2024. That's legitimate big league production. He struggled badly in AAA in 2025, but we've seen guys turn it around. Dave Hudgens has worked miracles before, and this is a zero-risk move with solid upside. He can play first base, corner outfield, and could be a sneaky depth piece if he performs in spring training. The Jays also won their arbitration case against Eric Swanson. He wanted $5.75 million, the Jays offered $4.4 million, and they won. So Swanson is back at the lower number, which is interesting because they need him now more than ever. Ross Atkins confirmed that Swanson is going to be stretched out as a starter this season, likely competing for that sixth starter spot. With Shane Bieber's status uncertain and the rotation thin, Swanson could play a bigger role than anyone anticipated. One more quick note. Trey Savage threw his bullpen session yesterday and looked good. But Atkins mentioned they'll be monitoring his workload carefully this year. Don't expect him to throw 150 innings. They'll likely cap him around what he did last year between the minors and majors, which was about 139. That means they'll need to get creative with the rotation, maybe skip starts here and there, and lean on guys like Swanson or potentially Scherzer if they bring him in. Oh, and one more thing. Dalton Varsho's teammate Okamoto will mainly play third base and backup first. Schneider and Lukes are expected to cover left field with Barger and Wright. Not exactly a murderer's row out there, but we'll see how it plays out. Bottom line, the Jays are in an interesting spot. They need pitching help, they've got some depth questions, and guys like Scherzer could be the perfect low-risk, high-reward addition. The Bassitt signing with Baltimore hurts, but it opens the door for Toronto to go in a different direction. Spring training is here, news is flying, and this team is starting to take shape. Stay locked in because things are moving fast, and I'll be here breaking it all down for you.